We all know that New York is one of the most photogenic cities in the world. No matter where you go, chances are there's a great photo to be taken. A special guest will join me in just a minute. But first, Lydia Serrani begins our look at all of the New York City that has so many great things to offer all of us for taking pictures. Here it is.
New York City is always moving, almost at a frenetic pace. But in a place of 8 million people and countless buildings, how many of us stop to simply appreciate its beauty?
If you put a pretty picture on the wall, it'll be a pretty picture. If you put something that maybe has a little bit behind it, you know, every time you look at it, you might think something different.
James Mayer is a professional photographer who captures moments all over Manhattan and Brooklyn.
I love the architecture, but I also love interesting shots of people and culture. And if you look at old photographs of New York, you know, some of the most interesting ones are of the people walking down the street, doing what they do.
The concrete skyline of Manhattan as the backdrop to the greenery of Central Park is awesome. But James says sometimes beauty lies least where you expect it.
I do a lot of photographs of New Yorkers looking kind of stressed. I love the shots where people are just running down the street in their own world.
Come on, come on!
You know, it might not be traditionally beautiful, but it shows a side of New York that's kind of really there.
And sometimes it's the ugliest of days that can actually be the most beautiful.
One of the biggest keys to photography is to go out when the weather's at its worst. So I'll go out in the middle of snowstorms, in the middle of rain. I love to go out at night. So, you know, middle of the day is great. You know, you can have some interesting light, but it's better in the elements or sunrise or sunset.
We found people celebrating their love and their trip to this iconic city with a photo. But James believes every day, any day, can be one to remember, whether you have a fancy camera or just your phone.
Just being interesting in some way, being a little bit unique. You kind of know when you see it. It's hard to really say what that is. But don't be afraid of shooting images that not everyone likes. You know, not everything has to get a lot of Instagram likes. Just something that kind of means something to you.
Lydia Serrani, Fox 5 News.
Thank you, Lydia. The man himself is here right now. James Mayer, thanks for being here. You're a great photographer. You brought your camera, too.
Thank you. Yeah, I bring it everywhere. So.
You're always ready to
yes,
go.
Anywhere.
James, tell me something. You're a pro. You know, you're doing this a long time. You're great at it. Are you really amazed by the photo craze? Everybody's taking pictures, you know, with our cell phones and everything. Isn't it incredible?
It's incredible. I mean, I love it. Everyone's photographing, but at the same time, it's very overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah, so it's really hard to, you know, stand out. Everyone is kind of overwhelmed with seeing photographs all the time. So it's a really good and it can be bad at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. So what is the secret to taking a really good photo? Is it background, lighting? What is it?
I mean, background and lighting are really important, but finding something that's interesting, I think, is the best. So, you know, find an interesting location, an interesting moment. It's just trying to figure out what you like and taking a photograph for yourself, as opposed to trying to get something that everyone's going to, you know, give you a lot of Instagram likes for.
Right, and you like to keep it fresh, of course. Candid is the best, right? I'm sure you like that.
I love candid, I love real. I love photographing New Yorkers. I mean, the architecture in New York is incredible. I photograph a lot of it. But the people are even more interesting. New Yorkers are what make New York.
Great faces, I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have favorite places? Do you keep going back to the same ones? How do you look for something fresh to keep it fresh?
So it's a mixture. You know, I'll wander. I'll you know, take some time off and I'll just get lost, and that's how I find new locations. And then on top of that, I'll go back to the same locations over and over and over again because, you know, in different weather and different time of day, because you really suddenly, by going to the same place over and over, one amazing moment is going to happen. And then that's how you get those really special shots. It's not just going to one place one time. It's really going until something awesome happens.
Yeah, and not being on deadline. You have the time to relax and actually do it, right?
Yeah, you have to have fun with it. You can't be rushing from place to place.
James,
definitely.
quick summary, okay? What's the best advice you can give people for, you know, getting out there and getting a great picture?
It's a great question. So my first thing would be to go out in bad weather.
Bad weather.
Yeah, bad weather. The time, you know, and during snow, you know how everyone takes photographs of their patio furniture?
Yeah.
And go out the front door, you know, put a little plastic bag around your camera, tape on it, a little umbrella, and just the worst weather is the best photographs.
Yeah.
That's my favorite tip. And then the other one is just to photograph a lot. You know, get a nice light camera that you'll enjoy taking around with you, and have fun with it. You know, just 15 minutes there, 10 minutes there, they add up.
Smile, say cheese. Okay, James Mayer, thank you so much for joining us, okay?
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on all your good work,
Thank
too.
you. Yeah.
All right.